It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Let me entertain you. Are you not entertained? Oh, man. This week's shows, I have, a brand new show at the Cedar Lounge Bar and Grill in Maumelle, Arkansas. Yes, Cedar Lounge Bar and Grill in Maumelle, Arkansas. I'm kind of stoked. I'm very excited about that. Wait a minute. Let me double check that. I think it's Maumelle. All right. I know I probably should have looked this up, but it's a brand new show. I just got booked for it. Oh my goodness. New Facebook. I hate the new Facebook. Let me tell you that now. I hate to start. I don't like starting off with a down kick, but the new Facebook is just not good. It's just not good. I'm having trouble locating things. Let's see. Cedar Lounge. It is in Morrilton. I'm sorry. It's in Morrilton, Arkansas. I'm glad, because I would have gone the wrong direction. All right. So, yes, the Cedar Lounge is in Morrilton, Arkansas. Yes. Okay. Should I start over? Probably not. I'm going to leave this out there. It's Sunday. It's my lazy Sunday. And as I'm bringing you these 10 things you need to know today. But anyway, yes, a brand new place. The place looks great. I haven't been there, but I'm very excited to go for sure. It's Cedar Lounge, okay? And if the place lives up to its name, it's going to smell wonderful. Cedar is the best wood for a closet for a good reason. It keeps it wicks the moisture away, and it smells so good. So I'm looking forward to that show. The people seem very nice. The people that I've been dealing with. Big ups to Tiffany Wilkerson for getting me in touch with those folks. So I'm very excited. 6 to 10 Thursday night, Cedar Lounge Bar and Grill in Morrilton, Arkansas. That's at 1222 and a half East Broadway in Morrilton, Arkansas. Yeah, very stoked, very excited to be there at the Cedar Lounge. Yeah, be there. And yes. And then on Friday night, of course, my regular Friday night gig is over at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. The Rab, you know the Rab. It's up on the hill. Hippie Hill. I know they still call it Hippie Hill, even though the 70s store has been closed for quite some time. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I'm enjoying myself. So stick around. You'll get your news. You'll get your news. But yes, the Rab, it feels like old times. Yes, we're putting a mask on while we're walking around and taking care of each other. But Friday nights have been really good at the Rab since they opened back up, breaking out of this COVID-19 quarantine thing. Yeah, I don't like the COVID-19, but then who does? Maybe scientists? I don't know. It gives them purpose. Scientists, speaking of, please get this underway, please. Okay, so yes, so okay, I just looked it up again. It's definitely Thursday night, October 1st. That's this Thursday night. It'll be my first show there in Morrilton, Cedar Lounge Bar and Grill, 1222 East Broadway Street, Morrilton. And yes, so be there, please. If you're in the Morrilton area, if you're anywhere close, come on out and give some support. It's a place that was open previously. I'm hazy on the history, but it was open previously. And now it's reopened again, and they're doing what I think they've had their soft grand opening, or they've had a grand opening, and this is the first time they're trying karaoke since that grand opening. So I'd like to give them a good show. Yeah, let's do that. Come on. Come on out and support. And then Friday night, you know the place to be. It's the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. Full bar, kitchen's open, video dance party, karaoke jam, pool tournament on Friday nights. So there's always something to do while you're hanging out at the Rab, waiting to sing a song right next to me on the stage. They got a little stage there. You're the stars of the show. So yes, I got karaoke, public shows twice, 2 this week, Thursday and Friday night. And then on Saturday, I have a wedding. I'm so stoked. The weddings are coming back. I had a wedding last night. Man, it was so good. It was at Hillbrook Farms. First of all, that's a great place. That barn, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. So I had a good time, and these people were just fantastic. Now, they did ask for a lot of red dirt country, and I played a lot of red dirt country, but then their guests kept coming up and asking for some of the pop stuff. So I hope, it was a good blend. It worked out really well. I played a couple of red dirt songs, the couples danced, and then I played some of the pop songs and the line dancers. It's a wedding. It was fun. They even did the YMCA. So yeah, there was that. So yeah, last night was great. Weddings are coming back. Very excited about that. Oh, also, if you'd like to tell your story and hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, September 27th, 2020. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, Trump officially nominates Amy Coney Barrett for Supreme Court. As expected, President Trump on Saturday officially nominated Amy Coney Barrett, a judge for the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 7th Circuit, for the Supreme Court following the death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg last week. Speaking at the White House, Trump described Barrett, who traveled to Washington, D.C. from her home in South Bend, Indiana, for the nomination as, quote, one of our nation's most gifted and brilliant legal minds, end quote, and a, quote, woman of unparalleled achievement, towering intellect, sterling credentials, and unyielding loyalty to the Constitution, end quote. During her own remarks, Barrett, who is well respected in conservative circles, said she shares the judicial philosophy of her mentor, the late Justice Antonin Scalia. Judges, she said, quote, must apply the law as written, end quote, while, quote, setting aside any policy views they might hold, end quote. Barrett must now be confirmed by the Senate in what is expected to be a contentious process. This is according to the New York Times and Politico. Number 2, Senate Committee's Supreme Court confirmation hearing scheduled for October 12th. The Senate Judiciary Committee will reportedly begin its confirmation hearing for President Trump's Supreme Court nominee, Amy Coney Barrett, on October 12th. Senate Judiciary Chair Lindsey Graham, Republican, South Carolina, revealed during an appearance on Fox News on Saturday, hours after the nomination. Graham suggested the hearing will last for 3 to 4 days, with the first day reserved for introductions, opening statements, and a statement from Barrett. The next 2 days will be dedicated to questioning, and then the markup process would start on October 15th. Committee rules mean the nomination will likely get held for a week, setting up a vote on October 22nd. Graham then hopes to move Barrett's confirmation to a full Senate vote by October 26th, a week before the presidential election. Historically, the expedited timeline has precedent, but it would be rapid compared to the number of days between nomination and confirmation for more recent nominees. This is according to NBC News and The Hill. Number 3, Midwest breaks record as coronavirus cases surge. Minnesota, Montana, South Dakota, and Wisconsin all reported record one-day increases in coronavirus cases Saturday, as COVID-19 infections continued to surge in the Midwest and rose nationally for the second straight week. Oregon, Utah, and Wyoming had also reported 24-hour records this week. Per Reuters, the influx of new cases can at least be partially attributed to an increase in testing, but hospitalizations, which are not tied to testing levels, have risen as well. Wisconsin and South Dakota have set hospitalization records for 6 and 5 days in a row, respectively. Elsewhere in the U.S., New York State, the home of the worst coronavirus outbreak in the U.S. since the pandemic began, reported more than 1,000 cases in a day Saturday for the first time since June 5th. The state's infections are trending upward, but the positivity rate has mostly remained steady. This is according to Reuters and NBC New York. Number 4, Portland demonstrations end mostly without reports of violence, despite fears. Law enforcement declared an unlawful assembly in Portland, Oregon, as late Saturday as hundreds of people protesting against police brutality gathered downtown. Police made several arrests, but overall Saturday was much calmer than state and local officials had feared, while bracing for thousands of members of the far-right Proud Boys to head to the city for a rally in support of President Trump and law enforcement. The actual attendance was reportedly far lower than anticipated, and there were few reports of violence, although police were investigating an assault after one person documenting the gathering was pushed to the ground and kicked in the face. Demonstrations occurred across the U.S. in response to a Kentucky grand jury's decision not to charge Louisville police officers for killing Breonna Taylor. This is according to the Associated Press and USA Today. Number 5, Armenia, Azerbaijan clash over contested region. Fighting has broken out between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and the Armenian government has declared martial law and total military mobilization. The neighboring nations have been mired in a decades-long standoff over the contested Nagorno-Karabakh region. A ceasefire was brokered in 1994, but there have been flare-ups since. Sunday's escalation appears to be the worst since 2016. Both sides have reported civilian deaths and blame the other for instigating the fighting. The Armenian Defense Ministry said Azerbaijan launched an attack on civilian settlements Sunday morning. And in response, Armenia shot down 2 helicopters and 3 drones and destroyed 3 tanks. Azerbaijan only acknowledged that 1 helicopter had been lost, and a defense ministry spokesperson and said several villages in Nagorno-Karabakh, quote, which were under enemy occupation for many years, have been liberated, end quote. This is according to BBC and Al Jazeera. Number 6, CDC ends federal coronavirus survey in Minnesota after allegations of racism, intimidation. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention ended a federal coronavirus survey this week after public health workers who went door to door across 180 neighborhoods to gain a better understanding of how the virus was spreading and offer free virus antibody testing, experienced verbal abuse, intimidation, and racism, the Minnesota Department of Health confirmed. The survey teams were reportedly greeted by some Minnesota residents with racial and ethnic slurs and were occasionally reportedly followed or videotaped. Dan Huff, an assistant health commissioner for the state, said one team was surrounded by 3 men, one of whom was armed, who refused to accept their identification as public health workers. The mayor of the town where the alleged incident occurred, Eitzen, Minnesota, denied any weapon was present and said that the situation was handled, quote, courteously, end quote. This is according to NBC News and Time. Number 7, Xi says China strategy in Xinjiang will continue. During a 2-day Communist Party conference that ended Saturday, President Xi Jinping said his approach to governing the Xinjiang region will continue. Chinese state media reported. Xi reportedly said, quote, practice has proven, end quote, Beijing's, quote, strategy, end quote, in Xinjiang and is, quote, completely correct, end quote. And he also ordered the party to consider it a political mission. On the ground in Xinjiang, China has built mass detention camps for Uyghurs and other largely Muslim minorities, forcing them to assimilate. The human rights abuses have sparked an international backlash, but it appears Beijing is prepared to double down amid the criticism. In the published remarks, Xi did not explicitly mention the indoctrination camps, which Chinese authorities refer to as vocational training centers, the New York Times reports. This is according to the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. Number 8, South Korea calls for joint investigation with North Korea over shooting of official. South Korea on Sunday called on North Korea to launch a joint investigation into the killing of a South Korean official tasked with monitoring fishing boats near the disputed Western Sea border, who was shot by North Korean troops on Tuesday after he was found adrift in North Korean waters. The man has not been identified publicly, but South Korea suspects he was attempting to defect to North Korea, while Pyongyang described him as an, quote, illegal intruder, end quote, who failed to explain his presence. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un apologized for the killing in a letter, and state news media said it, quote, should not have happened, end quote. But North Korea has also warned that Seoul's naval operations in the areas threaten to raise tensions between the neighboring rivals. This is according to NBC News and the New York Times. Number 9, projections show Swiss voters rejecting proposal to end free movement with EU. In a referendum on Sunday, Swiss voters have overwhelmingly rejected a proposal to end an agreement with the European Union that allows for the free movement of people from EU nations into Switzerland, television projections suggest. Switzerland's public broadcaster, SRF, is projecting that 63% of the voters turned out against the motion, which was introduced by the populist Swiss People's Party, while 37% supported it. The SVP, Deutsche Welle notes, built its platform on condemning EU influence within Switzerland, which is not a member state, but is part of the Schlesien area. The supporters believe the agreement has led to overpopulation and higher cost of living, while the victorious detractors believe the proposal would have plunged the economy into recession and prevented Swiss citizens from living and working freely across Europe. This is according to BBC and Deutsche Welle. Number 10, James leads Lakers back to NBA Finals. The Los Angeles Lakers are heading to the 32nd NBA Finals, the most of any franchise in the NBA, after defeating the Denver Nuggets 117-107 in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals in the Orlando bubble Saturday night. In the club's first trip to the finals since they won the title in 2010, LeBron James led the way for Los Angeles, dropping 38 points, 16 of which came in the fourth quarter to seal the game, and compiling his 27th career postseason triple-double. The 35-year-old James will be making the 10th finals appearance of his illustrious career and his 9th in 10 years. The Lakers will await the winner of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Miami holds a 3-2 advantage as the sides prepare to tip off Sunday night for Game 6 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. This is according to ESPN. That's 10 things you need to know today for September 27th, 2020. Thank you so much for listening. This has been What Makes You Smarter. It's an attempt for me to keep up on current events, and while I have this broadcast software sitting in front of me, might as well keep you informed as well. So if you like the sound of my voice, like, subscribe, share with people. At least you can get a good laugh out of it. But please don't make this your only source of news. Make sure that you check up on every little news source that I've done and do your own research. And if you have any comments on any of this, please, I want to know. I really want to know. Drop me some comments. Let me know what you're up to in this time. Also, if you'd like to tell your story and have a full podcast with me, you can tell your story on my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Also, I've been doing some online game streaming, hashtag KeysDAN Gaming, and I did my first win in the battle on Fortnite. Yeah, I know these little victories, but I did it twice. I won twice. So last night, or no, last night into today. So yeah, I was playing for a long time, but yeah, I won twice on the same stream. So yay, little victories. My first time. Hey, don't knock it. This is my first time. Okay, I'm very happy about it. I'm excited. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.